Right now at 6, a Coffeyville, Kansas man is sentenced for involuntary manslaughter. Plus, it's Tourism Week in Joplin. We'll see how the city is helping people discover everything it has to offer. And a local school plays a week-long game to show appreciation for staff members.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Abortions are now banned in Oklahoma after a fetal heartbeat is detected. This is KOAM News at 6. Governor Kevin Stitt today signed a Texas-style abortion ban prohibiting abortions when a heartbeat is detected in the fetus. Experts say that's typically about 6 weeks into a pregnancy before some women know they're pregnant. Like the Texas law, it also allows private citizens to sue abortion providers or anyone who helps a woman obtain an abortion for up to $10,000. Cloudy but drier today. Nick Kelly joining us.
Yeah, not for long though, Chris. With our next storm system on the way, we're going right back into the rain, but thankfully not for this evening. Even though the clouds might suggest rain is imminent, it's not enough moisture up in the clouds, so we're just keeping things dry on the Skywatch storm tracker. In fact, maybe a few pockets of clearing possible by the time we hit into the late night hours, but got to point out our next storm system out to the west. That's ready to shake things up once again as we go into tomorrow. Again, though, we're fine this evening. Chilly, but we're fine overall. Mid to upper 50s across the board. Maybe a couple of spells like Nowata right around 60, 61 degrees. In general, though, it's a chilly evening. We'll gently fall back through the 50s through the course of the evening. 50 by midnight. I'm thinking mid to upper 40s for overnight lows, Chris. But as we go into tomorrow, rain and thunderstorm chances return. I'll see how long those chances will stick with us, and if we have any severe for us to contend with here in a few.
All right, Nick, thank you. A judge sentences a Coffeyville, Kansas man to prison for a shooting death. Ruben Ruiz Robles is sentenced to a maximum of 32 months for the April 2021 death of Chris Temple in Coffeyville. As part of a deal, Ruiz Robles pleaded no contest to involuntary manslaughter in the case. The prosecutor dropped the original charge of first-degree murder after 2 key witnesses chose not to testify on the state's behalf. An Ottawa County man is sentenced for sexually abusing a minor. Authorities say in 2020, 39-year-old Jeremy Lawhorn contacted the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office to report that he needed to confess a crime. Lawhorn admitted to inappropriately touching a 12-year-old. After a dispute over jurisdiction, he was federally indicted for sexual abuse of a minor in Indian country. This week, a federal judge sentenced Lawhorn to 30 months in prison, followed by 10 years of supervised release. A judge in Jasper County sentences a man to multiple terms of life in prison for child sex crimes. Daniel Chavez was found guilty of 4 counts of statutory sodomy, 1 count of child molestation, 1 count of attempted statutory sodomy, and 2 counts of furnishing pornographic material to a minor. All 4 of the statutory sodomy charges carry a life sentence. The rest of the sentences will run concurrent to those sentences. As we all know, there's a lot to do in Joplin and along Route 66, but this week, National Tourism Week, is a chance to highlight that for people not from the area. KOAM's Jalen Banks spoke with a group of tourists from the Czech Republic about their adventures.
This week marks the start of National Tourism Week. Here in the 4 states, we have an attraction that draws people from all over the world, that being historic Route 66. Today in Joplin, we had a group all the way from the Czech Republic.
Route 66 reaches across 8 different states over the span of 2,400 miles, and our group from the Czech Republic will be making that trek, starting in Illinois and ending in Santa Monica, California.
The tours are led by Zdeněk Jurásek, president of the Czech Republic Route 66 Association. He's made the journey 32 times, and back home he has a rock radio station that plays music inspired by the route.
We had a communism era, and we are not allowed to travel to the Western countries and to America, and we always wished to visit United States and especially Route 66, and a lot of people here are fulfilling their lifelong dream.
When I asked Zdeněk what his favorite site on Route 66 was, he cannot pick just one.
Oh, no, I have no favor on Route 66 because the favor is all Route 66 together. No place are I cannot prefer any place. All is good together.
According to Patrick Tuttle, director of the Joplin Business Convention Bureau, pre-pandemic 12 to 15,000 tourists from Europe would visit Route 66. He's hoping to see those numbers again as we move past the pandemic. And along with that, our friends from the Czech Republic will too.
In Joplin, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
Certainly a reminder some of the things we take for granted are worth seeing again. The president of the Czech Route 66 Association will make the trip back across Route 66 later this month, starting in California and ending in Illinois. A McDonald County elementary school is working to increase enrollment of preschoolers and kindergarten-age children. White Rock Elementary in Pineville says kindergarten enrollment is down this year compared to most years. Now teachers are reaching out to parents of young kids to make sure their students are enrolled. School officials say it's important to know class sizes early so educators can plan ahead.
For kindergarten, it's important to know those numbers in the spring so that we can plan for class sizes and the number of classes that we need in the fall. It also gives parents the opportunity to meet the teachers before school starts in the fall so that they have a face to a name when they maybe see a welcome postcard in the mail over the summer.
Experts also say kids in early childhood education programs usually have improved social skills and do better in school. Staff members at Meadowlark Elementary in Pittsburgh are showing their appreciation for one another. One staff member came up with a game called Survivor for teachers and staff to play this week. Each day, staff members spin a wheel with different challenges on it for prizes. Those challenges include things like recreating pictures of animals, leaving a nice note for someone, or doing a dance.
Make it a positive atmosphere, and in our building it's not just our teachers that are participating, it's any of our staff, whether that's our custodians or our cooks or our secretary or whomever, because we appreciate everything that everybody does for us.
At the end of the week, a grand prize will be handed out to the game's winner. Coming up, how a Kansas City couple is turning to social media to get justice after being robbed at gunpoint. Plus, a Tulsa County judge makes a ruling on the future of a reparations lawsuit over the Tulsa Massacre. A Missouri family is trying to get their own justice through social media after an armed robbery outside their home in Kansas City. Abby Dodge reports on how they turned to Facebook and TikTok for help.
Quiet morning with a big weekend ahead.
The only thing we had left to do was just load up the kids and we were ready to go.
A family road trip to Chicago on their 10th anniversary never got the chance to begin.
I told our girls to stay inside.
He had to get through me to get back into the vehicle.
Saw the weapon drawn and pointed directly at him.
In their front yard, moments before a planned departure, Tara Davis spotted someone stealing their luggage.
To me and Kyle are a team, and we were just going to go get our stuff back. You know, it's like, hold on, girls, we're going to get it.
I thought we were just going to sort it out, and then we'd all just be on our way, but it just didn't go down like that.
Tara says after the suspect pulled a gun on her husband, she pulled out her phone, hoping to get a shot of the license plate. There wasn't one, but she got a clear shot of the suspect's intentions.
Honestly, it's given me so much motivation to get her face out there for being so arrogant, saying, F you, this is mine now, get out of our way.
An exchange without words, speaking volumes.
When you act like that, it's like, okay, you're going down. So I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna make a TikTok and maybe justice can be served. You know, it just goes to show I'm gonna do everything I can on my own and with the community to try to get these people.
While they make their own recovery.
We lost some things that we, really wish we didn't lose, but, everybody's still safe and everybody's still doing pretty good. So, I'm thankful for that.
And the chance to find their own justice.
I hope karma comes back and gets you hard.
A Tulsa County judge yesterday ruled a lawsuit seeking reparations for the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre can move forward. Plaintiffs say this is a victory on the pathway to justice. Daniel Ibarra reports.
The last three survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre are a step closer to having their day in court.
To think and feel this victory is amazing.
An overflowing courtroom erupted in cheers. Moments before, the judge granted in part a motion to dismiss a lawsuit filed on behalf of the survivors and the descendants. So what does that mean?
We don't know. We don't know. That just means our case moves forward.
Survivors Leslie Benningfield Randall, Viola Fletcher, and Hughes Van Ellis are all over 100 years old. That's why attorney Demario Solomon Simmons says time is of the essence in moving this case forward.
I just don't want to see the last 3 die without justice.
Oklahoma could be the significant singular statement about curing America's past.
U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee came to witness this moment.
Take this as a moment of history that will never, 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 never be forgotten.
Attorneys for the defendants say the 1921 massacre was horrible, but the public nuisance the plaintiffs are arguing is not ongoing. Solomon Simmons is confident he can prove it is.
We're going to get justice for Greenwood. We're going to vindicate our ancestors. We're going to get justice for Greenwood. We're going to get justice for Greenwood.
The lawsuit seeks unspecified punitive damages and calls for the creation of a hospital in North Tulsa, in addition to mental health and education programs and a Tulsa Massacre Victims Compensation Fund. A little later, a Pitt State football standout gets a shot to make it to the NFL.
But first, it was nice to keep things dry for today, but more rain knocking on the door. We'll break it down next. Any camera I can pull up shows that everybody's dealing with cloud covered. This is what we've been dealing with all day, quite frankly. But even with the clouds from the live shot of Landers from the Chevy Cadillac dealership on the southeast side of Joplin, we've been thankfully staying dry throughout the day. So 44 travels looking pretty fine, but the clouds have had an impact on temperatures though. We have seen temperatures go into the mid to upper 60s before the last cold front came on through, and we had to deal with our share of rain and thunderstorm chances as well. Upper 40s this morning, and so far the warmest we could go was 56 at Joplin Regional. So the clouds again, definitely a big factor in terms of how our temperatures played out. But even though we're dry, the clouds are going to lead to more rain and thunderstorm chances tomorrow and even going into Thursday. Thankfully dry, but warming up quite a bit for the upcoming weekend. And then when we stick with Doug's pattern, looking at early next week, let's keep an eye on a possible severe threat, certainly by the time next Tuesday rolls around. Right now, though, 7th and Range line, plenty of clouds, but we are dry and chilly too. 55 degrees with the north breeze, almost pushing 10 miles per hour. And the humidity, you saw that number, 46%, not too terribly high, but that is definitely going to start to rise with our next system on the way in. Mid to upper 50s for most as far as temperatures go at the top of the hour, but a couple lower 60s around Fredonia, Newata, and Sedan. So some of you did manage to go into the 60s today, but everyone's going to have a chilly evening with the cloud cover, leading to a slow drop in temperatures. And eventually we'll drop back into the mid to upper 40s later tonight. Nothing on the radar, even though we're cloudy outside right now, but the big screaming headline with the next storm system is the flood watch out for most until we hit 1 o'clock going into Thursday afternoon. So let's see where the storm system is. It's not on top of us right now, thankfully, but the warm front is working from Colorado down through Texas. We got the cold front trailing back into Southern California, both of those coming into play, in addition to an upper low coming out of Utah. Now, depending on how the system tracks out, we got to keep an eye on thunderstorm chances, certainly a possible low severe threat trying to clip northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Something I want to keep an eye on, but if we saw any storms try to turn strong to low-grade severe going into Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, going into 3 a.m. Thursday morning, I think the biggest threats that we'll have to contend with will be hail and wind, but definitely more rain, certainly something we don't need more of right now. But again, we'll at least savor a dry evening before we see some scattered showers try to pick up in our southern counties by tomorrow morning. Then you can see how as that storm system approaches, we'll get a band of thunderstorms sticking around midday and trying to hold on during the course of the afternoon. But I think even with that, with some dry time, we'll see a little bit of a bump in temperatures. 47 in the morning, 55 by noon, highs near 62. Here is Wednesday evening at 10 o'clock. The first line of storms. As this pans out, this could be a potential wind and hail threat that we'll keep an eye on through the overnight. A break Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon. Then we got to deal with the cold front Thursday evening. Some of those could be strong to maybe low-grade severe. So we got to keep an eye on the potential for severe weather, sure, but look at the potential rain amounts we could get by the time we head through Thursday at the very least. 1 to 4 inches of rain. all the more reason why those flood watches are out. 62 tomorrow, 72 Thursday. The rain's out here after Friday morning, Chris, with highs near 67. But how about the weekend? 79 on Saturday, 85 and dry for Mother's Day. And then we'll focus on another severe threat by Tuesday.
Just got to keep pushing until we get to the weekend.
We're almost there.
Almost. Nick, thank you so much. Still ahead, Joplin High School baseball begins the final week of the regular season against Carl Junction, and a Pitt State wide receiver gets his shot in the NFL with his hometown team. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Pittsburgh State wide receiver Jalen Martin has earned his shot at the NFL. Martin has been invited to rookie minicamp for his hometown Detroit Lions. Martin played one full season at Pitt State, played all 11 games last fall, racking up 832 yards, 5 touchdowns, earning second-team All-MIAA recognition. We caught up with Martin today to talk about earning his shot in the league and getting the call from his hometown team.
It meant everything to me, especially, homegrown. I'm from Detroit, so just to see I have interest from an NFL team in my city, it's amazing. It's really a blessing. And, my agent called me and told me, the Lions want to bring me in a rookie minicamp. They like my size, my speed. I move very well. So that was enough to get me in the door.
The Joplin Eagles have just 1 week left in the baseball regular season. It's a busy week with 5 games on their schedule between now and next Tuesday. The first of those is tonight, facing Carl Junction. First batter of the game, Kyler Perry, pitching for CJ, gets the strikeout. Joplin, though, gets 2 in the inning. Then they break the game wide open in the second. Second inning here, Ethan Guilford back up the middle. That brings Bodie Carlson home from second. Now later in the inning, first and third for Justin McReynolds. Laser in the gap in right center, all the way to the wall. Byler Reether scores. Ethan Guilford makes it all the way around from first. McReynolds in there for the triple. 8 runs in the first 2 innings for Joplin tonight. Right now, Eagles lead at 9-0 in the top of the 7th. Staying in southwest Missouri, big one here in the Big 8. McDonald County faces Nevada this evening, with the winner earning the Big 8 West title. Mustangs win a good one, 2-0, so McDonald County wins the Big 8 West and will play for the overall Big 8 league title. The Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals are scheduled to meet 4 times this season. Now, they've already played 2 of those, with the Cardinals winning both in St. Louis. The series shifts now to Kansas City. Cards and Royals meet for 2 at Kauffman Stadium, with Game 1 being tonight. First pitch for that one is at 7:10. We'll have the latest from the game right here tonight at 10. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Out to honor a local veteran. William Stanley joined the U.S. Army in 2006. The Chanute native was stationed in Iraq. We salute Specialist William Stanley, a 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on the KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Shockwaves after the leak of the Supreme Court draft opinion that could ultimately overturn Roe v. Wade. Also, a new imaging drug is helping surgeons find hidden ovarian cancer tumors. Got that and more tonight. KOAM News at 9 over on Fox 14. We've got more rain coming in.
Yeah, and judging by that expression, yes, definitely something we don't need, but at least we're keeping dry for this evening. The rain chances pick back up going into tomorrow with highs, topping out around 62.
We've got more sports coming in.
We are going to have more sports tonight at 10. Missouri Southern softball getting ready for the first round of the MIAA tournament. They got a tough one against 6th-ranked Rogers State on Thursday. We'll hear from the Lions on that matchup tonight at 10.
All right, guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 9 and 10, and thanks for making us part of your night.